Okay, with you long, but I definitely wanted to come and bring this content today. I tried to do this as a live stream, but for some reason, when I hit save, it didn't go through. So if you saw me on the live stream, you about to hear me again because I decided to go ahead and do this as a recording. So if it is your first time seeing one of my videos, hello. My name is Neola Thorpe. I am a marketing and income strategist for coaches and service professionals. I'm also the CEO of Market Your Message. And today we're going to be talking about the difference between those entrepreneurs who are making 4 and 5 figures a month to those who are making 6 and 7 figures in their business. Okay. And this is important because there are some mistakes that you guys may be making why you are not being able to reach the goals that you have set in your business. Okay. And so we're going to talk about the 3 things that I believe separates these 2 groups. All right. And so just to give you a little background of my story, I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years. Okay. Very recently, before I started, or my most recent, not recently, but my most recent before starting my coaching business in 2012, I owned a hair salon. All right. And that was the most successful that I ever was in my life. But while I was financially successful, I was overworked. I was tired. I was on my feet all day doing hair. I was missing out on time with the children, sacrificing time with my family, sometimes bringing the kids home late at night, and it just wasn't worth it. And so when the salon closed and I decided that I was going to start an online business, I decided that I was going to start monetizing my skill sets and teaching other people how to do the same thing. And so I teach specifically coaches how to consistently generate high ticket clients in their business. And I also work with service professionals who want to be able to make more money for what they know instead of what they do. That's where I was. I wanted to make more money for what I knew instead of me having to use my hands to do the work. And so I leveraged what I knew to be able to grow Market Your Message. And now I help my clients do the same thing. And so this is why today is a very important topic, right? Let me just stop this real quick. Okay. This is why today is a very important topic, because if you were like me, if you are like where I was, and I wanted to be able to make more money with what I know instead of overworking, and I wanted to be able to do this, then you probably ran into some of the same problems that I ran into. Okay. And so we're going to talk about 3 important things. So let's get started. Number 1, the business owners who are generating 6 and 7 figures a year in their business, they know where their next clients is coming from. Okay. If you're someone who's already hitting 6 figures in your business, just give me a 1 in the chat and let the people who know, who's not there yet, know that you know. We know where our next client is coming from. I remember when I used to do hair, it was like when I first started growing my book or building my book, that's what we called it. Man, it was like pulling needles to get clients all the time. And the same way I was living paycheck to paycheck when I had a 9 to 5, I was living client to client in my hair salon. Right. And that is when I realized that it was important for me to learn how to market my business and how to have leads. We used to call it foot traffic, but online we call it leads. How to have leads coming into our pipeline consistently. So that way we can predict the type of money that we can make. I love being able to just wake up on a Monday like today and write an email and send it out and know for a fact that I'm going to convert at a certain conversion rate because I've been doing this for so long, because I'm looking at the numbers, because I'm testing, and because I made sure that I positioned myself to know where my next client is coming from. Right. And so if you're someone who you do not know that, then what you want to work on is you want to work on having your client's journey mapped out and knowing exactly what are the touch points that a client is going through from the first interaction all the way to buying from you, and knowing your numbers. Right. Because I could go a step further and I can say that, those people who are using paid advertising to be able to grow their business, the reason why it works and they will always swear by it is because they know that if they put in a dollar amount, they're going to get this out. And it is the same thing when you're running your business organically. If you're consistently generating leads for your business, guys, what is going to happen is that you're going to get to the point where you can also say, man, I'm sending out an email today. I'm going to do a launch this week, a private launch. You know what? You don't even have to put yourself out on social media when you are growing your list and having a pipeline. All right. And so that's the first difference. That's the first thing that separates those who are earning 4 and 5 figures a year to those who are earning 6 and 7 figures a year. Okay. Now, the second thing is they have systems. All right. They have systems and you don't. All right. And again, this is not a throw. All right. So anybody who, again, if you're new to me, you probably like don't really realize that, all right, y'all would just be saying, I'm just going to say it. If you don't, you don't. And you got to be able to admit that so you can start working on it and getting the right systems in place. Now, specifically, the systems that I'm talking about is one, having a lead generation system, okay? And then two, and I'm on just so you guys know I'm on the phone and I'm here. So that way I can post this everywhere, right? So one is a lead generation system, and two is having a sales system. So you want to be able, in addition to being able to predictably know how you're going to get clients, you want to also have the systems in place to be able to do that. A lead generating system and a sales system, okay? And then lastly, number 3 is that they are not doing all the things to be able to grow their business, okay? And again, this is somewhere where I was, and if you're here, it's all right. It's all right. This is exactly how we get started growing our business. We try strategies, we test things. We want to see what works from what doesn't work, but you can't continue to do that. If you find yourself a year, 2 years, 3 years in, and you doing the same thing and you overworked and you're not seeing that you're making more money and reaching your goals and seeing that you're able to have the right systems in place, then something is wrong. That is an indication that it's time to make some changes. Right? It's time to make some changes. Okay. All right. So let's go through this. I'm going to recap really quick. And then I have a challenge for you guys. I have a challenge that's coming up and I'm going to tell you all about that. So let's recap really quick. So number 1, the first thing is they know where their next client is coming from, whether they are marketing organically, paid, both, it doesn't matter. They are clear, they know, and they're confident. They know where their next client is coming from and when. Okay. I put out a post in my Facebook group this morning, being that it's the beginning of the week, and I asked everybody, well, what's your profit goals for this week? And in my head, when I asked these questions, I also answered these questions for myself. And I was able to clearly say what was going to be coming in Stripe this week. Why? Because I know exactly how many contracts we have open, what are the payments that are going to be coming in this week. So whether we get new clients coming in or not, whether we sell digital products this week or not, we know for a fact what we're going to be bringing in by how our business is structured. Okay. So that's the first thing, knowing where your next client is coming from, confidently knowing. And then number 2, they have systems in place and you don't. Specifically, lead generation systems and sales systems. Okay. And then lastly, they're not doing all the things. So they're narrowing in and they're focusing in on one thing so they can start to see results. Okay. And so if you are somebody who you listen to me and you're like, man, okay, I don't have these things, 1, 2, or 3 of these things, and you want to work on it, then you're going to be perfect for my upcoming challenge. So on the 29th, which is Monday, I'm doing my Gain More Leads challenge. It's a 5-day challenge, a free challenge, where I'm going to be giving you exactly what to do and the system that you need to have in place to be able to consistently attract qualified leads to your business. And I am super excited about it. So regardless of where you're watching this, if you are someone who you're listening and you're like, look, this is what I want to work on right now, you're going to be a perfect fit for the challenge. So you can go ahead and click somewhere around this video and get registered. Okay. All right, guys. So again, I'll see you on the challenge. If this was useful, give me a useful in the comments if this was useful, and I will see you guys in the challenge.